Hi, I'm Drew Coleman, here today to talk about low appraisals on our Opt for Education knowledge-based series. You're representing a client. They've entered a contract for a $750,000 sale. However, the appraisal has just come back and you've come to find out that the appraised value of the property is $720,000. What do? You have 5 options as to how to deal with this, or your client does, and you can advise them as such. Number 1, the transaction can go away. If the buyer doesn't agree to do anything about it and the seller won't do anything about it, the buyer can walk away, get their earnest money back, because at this point the financing contingency has failed. Number 2, you can try to challenge the appraisal. This means that by bringing new comparables, talking to the lender's appraiser about what the value might be, providing input, you can see if the appraisal will change based on your input that you've given. I can tell you, in over 20 years of being in this business, I rarely have ever seen an appraiser change a number based on this input, but you're welcome to try. Number 3, the seller can make up the difference. So in our $750,000 example, the seller could agree to move their sales price down to $720,000, which is the appraised value, and the transaction can move forward from there. Number 4, the buyer can make up the difference. If you have a $30,000 appraisal shortfall, the buyer can bring $30,000 additional cash in to help close the transaction. It's amazing how many times a buyer remembers a great uncle they had long ago forgotten to find that extra cash to get the transaction moving forward. The 5th thing that you can do, the buyer and seller can come to another agreement, perhaps split the difference. Hey, you know what, I'll come up with $15,000 extra cash, says the buyer. You know what, I'll drop my price $15,000, says the seller. You end up at a $735,000 sales price, negotiated, and the buyer brings $165,000 in cash, or $15,000 more, and the transaction moves forward. Those are the 5 ways to deal with a low appraisal. See you next time.